Peace and life, dear fam. It's Dr. Tiy-E here, the OG psychosexual therapist, author of 6 books, radio and TV personality, and magazine contributor for over 2 decades. Inviting you to join me for raw and unfiltered, no-cap conversations with my special guests as we explore sex, love, relationships, and more, because you can't heal what you don't reveal. Come get real and embrace your Riz on each episode of Sex, Love, and the Misunderstanding Podcast.
Dr. Tiy-E Muhammad. Dr. Tiy-E Qayyim Muhammad.
The first one, I'm not get my whole social. Just Dr. Tiy-E is fine.
From the south side of Chicago.
All day. Do I look comfortable?
Are you comfortable right now? Because I feel like you need to maybe unbutton something.
Okay.
This is your house, so
Okay.
we're going to do it your way.
All right. I'm good. I'm good. Let's do it.
You feel better?
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're okay.
All right.
All right.
Have you introduced? But you haven't introduced me
I
yet.
haven't introduced him.
Yeah.
We're going to introduce him.
Wait till after you introduce me,
We're
then
going
tell
right
me you're
now.
comfortable.
This is all good. This is
is all
all
good?
good. This is how this happens. I'm here with Dr. Tiy-E Muhammad.
No, just take the Muhammad out. Just Dr. Tiy-E.
Okay, all right.
Just Dr.
Thank
Tiy-E.
you. See, he tells me. He keeps me straight.
Right.
I'm here with Dr. Tiy-E. We are sitting down. So good to see you.
Likewise. Like I said, I feel like I've known you forever.
Feel like I have known you forever. As a matter of fact, we have known each other since November 8th, 2003.
Thanks to the, can't say incomparable because I don't like him, Ryan Cameron.
Listen, shout out to Ryan Cameron. Right, we met at an event where we were both celebrity judges for the campus of Morehouse.
Yes, Step Show.
College, yeah.
Absolutely. And the Sigma's represented, by the way.
The Sigmas represented?
Yes, and of course
I'm sure the Deltas did as well.
They did.
Okay.
They did. Red, white, and blue put it all together.
Listen, a lot has happened.
A lot has happened.
Since that day.
Yes.
You are a nationally licensed, certified counselor. I gotta look it up.
Okay.
A licensed psychotherapist,
Yes.
a nationally certified counselor, marriage consultant, author, educator, spiritual advisor. You have written books.
Yes.
You wrote a stage play. Y'all remember the Civic Center? His play was actually there.
Sold out for 3 days.
Sold out for 3 days.
Yes.
And you're a father,
Yes.
a brother,
Yes.
a lover,
Yes.
a stepper,
Oh, Chicago Stepper, that is.
Chicago stepper,
Skater.
a skater,
JB Skater, that is, yes.
a vegan,
Yes, for over 27 years.
a marathoner.
8 marathons and counting, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay, I need more fingers.
Black belt in Taekwondo.
A black belt in Taekwondo.
Yes.
And not only that, you have your own practice. One Love
Yes.
Counseling Services.
And don't forget the One Sexy Vegan.
And One Sexy Vegan.
Best cookies on the market.
MyBlackMarriage.com. We've got a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
I'm glad to talk to you today. I know we talked about doing this interview, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And we decided that 2024, you said, is the year of the truth.
Yes. Thanks to people like Cat Williams. For first, let me give a shout out to God. God has put this in my system for a very long time. It's like, it's time. It's time that you get it all out. And we call this, as Cat would say, the year of reckoning. Mad respect to that brother, because he shed some light. People were so focused on what he was saying about other comedians, they lost sight of the much bigger message. And probably the biggest thing he said was, God's people aren't that few. And he spoke loud and clear to me. He's like, brother, it's your time. It's your time. And I'm honored, because I know there's a lot we got to cover. So
Yeah.
don't when you see me rambling, just kind of stop me.
You know I will.
Because I want you to kind of throw the questions at me, and then I
feel like I'm a
roll from there.
professional puller backer of you anyway,
All
right?
Yes.
We were married.
Yes, we were married, yes.
So we know each other
We do.
in the biblical sense.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right, there we go. I just had to get that out
Right,
there.
and a wonderful marriage it was. And I don't have any regrets. And I want you to know that you always be my bestie. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you are the most amazing person I've ever met. You represent my peace. And I want to always thank you for that.
I feel the same way. And thank you for our beautiful child.
Oh, yes.
We have a 6-year-old. Okay, so we got all that out of the way. But
I was actually forced into that. I woke up one night, she was on top of me. They said, we had a baby.
Listen, they know how it happens. They know how it happens.
She took it. Me Too movement, holla at your boy.
So mad at you. Stop. He would also say a comedian.
Right.
But for some people, this is an introduction. For other people, this is just sitting down with Dr. Tiy-E, right?
Yes.
Because when you and I met years ago, you were on radio giving relationship advice. You were the guy that the national TV shows called on and would fly you to New York and S.L.A.
Yes.
Ricky Lake, Jenny Jones, Mansers. You did 90 Day Fiance more recently.
Yes.
The Greg Barrett Show. Probably many more.
Yes.
But they called you, and your job was to be on TV.
Correct.
People would air out their issues. This is before Dr. Phil even. They would air out their issues, and you had like a minute to tell them how to correct their problems.
That's correct.
And that was a gift.
Yeah, and during that time, Ebony Magazine coined me to Love Doctor. It's not something I appointed myself, because I was as a matter of fact, I was in Chicago doing a book signing, and this young lady stood in line for hours trying to get a copy of my book. When she got to the front, I had ran out of books. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I ran out of books." And this woman, she had a lot of weight on her, put it that way. And I felt, not because she had the weight on her, but I was just like, you know what, I feel bad. You're still in line, so I'm going to go out to my car and give you the copy of my book that I have, my personal copy. And that was Seeker's Man Key. Went out there and gave it to her. And she called me a few weeks later. She's like, "Do you remember me?" I was like, "No, I don't." She's like, "Well, love your book. I'm the chief executive editor, whatever, for Ebony and Jet magazine. We want you to be a writer for our magazine."
Wow.
And so that's how things have always moved for me. And I just want to let people know that I'm God-made, not man-made. And what that means is everything has been ordained by God. That's why you can't stop my fire. You can't stop it no matter what. And I am one of the most powerful men you ever meet, in that I'm of God. And anyone who knows me knows that I represent two things: peace and love.
I always call it a Tiy-E Muhammad moment.
Yes.
Because you'll be like, you know what? I needed this last item. There was only a few in the store. They told me they were sold out. I went back to the shelf and woo, there it was. Or I was standing there, they were telling me it was sold out. Somebody returned it right there. Like, everything that you've ever done and been a part of has always been ordained.
Yes.
Right?
I give you a great Tiy-E Muhammad moment. And again, God made it. Living in L.A., took my son, my oldest son at the time, to across the street where I lived, across the street from Staples Center. And just walking around, because LA was playing the Celtics in the championship. It was like game 3, game 4. And there's three strangers came up to me and my son and I said, "Hey, you guys going to the Lakers game?" And I was like, "No." "Do you want to go?" I was like, "Well, okay, what's the gimmick?" I was like, "Yes, we want to go." And she just gives us 2 tickets. The 2 tickets for the championship, NBA championship. So I'm thinking like, okay, so I tell my son, I say, "Well, maybe we should sell these tickets." I've never sold a ticket in my life. I said, "Maybe we should just sell these tickets." And he was like, "Well," he said, "Okay, what we got?" I'm thinking we could probably get $1,000 a ticket. So I thought to myself, you know what? What's the probability of me being able to take you to an NBA championship game, period? And so I said, we decided not to sell the ticket. So we went home, because I lived right across the street. And we said, we're going to root for the Celtics, put on green. Had on green shirt, he had on his green Converse All-Stars. And as God would have it, we walked to our seats. She's like, "Oh yeah, you guys are down there." And I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking down. So we keep walking. Next thing you know, it's myself, my son, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I could actually touch the Lakers players in front of me. This lady, come to find out, they gave us the value of those tickets was over $25,000 a piece. So what's the likelihood of 2 strangers coming to giving you $50,000 worth of tickets? So now, mind you, we sitting there with green on, which is not the Lakers colors.
Bad.
Purple and gold is the color. And it was like, oh God, everybody's like, "Who are you? Like, what do you do?" And I'm just like, "Oh, we're just here."
That's a Tiy-E Muhammad moment.
Tiy-E Muhammad.
Perfect example.
Yes.
So in order to, again, introduce you to people who may be hearing you for the first time, you have a very successful practice here right now. You built it from the ground up a few years ago.
Yes.
Turning away clients at times, accepting some at other times. Right now, I just want to know, tell me a little bit about your family, how you grew up,
Okay.
and where you got your foundation for understanding about relationship and love and life.
Okay, shout out to Addie and Louis Gray, my parents, my mommy and my daddy. They're both deceased. 2012, my mom, in 1998, my dad. Grew up in Ida B. Well projects on the south side of Chicago. Hard knock life, straight, I'm talking about from the streets. Where at one summer we had one fan, 4 siblings, 3 sisters and a brother. And my mom and dad, we had one fan, and we would all sit in the front room. And mind you, it was a 3-bedroom apartment in the projects, and the square footage was like 375 square feet, something like 400 at the most. And we would all put blankets on the floor and lay across the floor with this one fan. And one time we couldn't pay our electric bill, so we ran an extension cord from my neighbor's place to our place. But I never saw that as, I was like, this is love. I grew up with so much love. My dad was a heroin addict, a functioning drug addict. My mom was addicted to pain pills. I found out much later in life. But you never knew it because they gave so much to the children. So I grew up in that environment later on in life. I put it like this. I went to 6 different grades, from 1st grade to 8th grade, 6 different schools. So I was finally settled in my 7th grade year. We moved to what is called the southeast side of Chicago, or the east side. And 7th grade, middle of 7th grade, and 8th grade, and graduated and went to high school. Kind of found myself in high school.
You actually have family from down here, though. You grew up in Chicago.
Yes.
But you have family down here, and you would spend summers down here.
Alabama and Arkansas. My dad's from Arkansas. My dad's from Alabama. Arkansas was a little bit too left for me. They still had outhouses. Shout out to the Ark. But I was like, oh, dear God, I'm going to. I was like, but I don't want to go to Arkansas. Don't make me go. My family in Alabama is where I got my swag from.
Yeah.
Freshman year in high school, I went to Alabama, Valley, Alabama, shout out. And Valley, Alabama. And they used to, they taught me how to dance, like really get into dancing. My cousin, they were like three letters, football and basketball and sport. They were just sports. And so my cousin was like, hey, come out in the backyard and lift weights with me. I never lift weights in my life. They said, I'm out there, I got this, cuz, let's do it. My arms locked up on me. They let I'm in the hospital emergency room because I couldn't move my fucking arms. I couldn't move my damn arms. So they let I'm in the hospital. So they teased me to this day. I'm like, oh God. So again, I didn't know. And I was so excited about being in the country that I used to ask them, could I mow their lawn? I used to go to the neighbors, can I mow your lawn? You didn't have to pay me. I just wanted, because I never had a lawn.
Because you were from Chicago, the projects. You had streets around
Right,
you.
we didn't have no damn grass.
Yeah.
So growing up in that environment taught me a lot. And if I had to live my life all over again, I would live it exactly the way it was, because it taught me so much about who I am. Like I have no regrets, put it that way. Everything I've ever done in my life has been calculated. I've processed it, and it is what it is. But yeah, growing up Southside Chicago, man, my life, whew, very interesting.
And the best is yet to come.
Yes. Also growing up, again, the gang infestation. Most of my buddies were drug dealers and gang members. I dabbled and dabbled in the gangs because my neighborhood was Blackstone. So if you're in your neighborhood, hey, guess what? You're a part of it. And to this day, you see me with a hat on, it's cocked slightly to the left. Because anybody from Chicago know where you wear your hat tells you what part of the gang you was in. For example, you will see Common grew up around the Four Corner Hustlers, hat to the left. You'll see Dave, what's the singer name? Dave
Hollister?
Dave Hollister. He's always to the right. He grew up around Black Gangster Disciples. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, even though these people don't gang bang, neither do I, but your associates, like you would never ever see my hat to the right. I just can't do it. It seems awkward. Like you can't put it over to the right. So I grew up in a town, like now I have 2 earrings. And since high school, I've had both of my ears pierced.
Yeah.
Because if you had one, that was a gang. One to the right was a gang, one to the left. This was a gang. That was a gang. This was a gang. That was a gang. That was a gang. Every damn hand symbol you could think of, that was a gang. That was a gang. That was a gang. This was a gang. Every damn hand symbol you could think about was a gang.
Which is now all just part of popular culture.
That part.
Okay. So we're talking love and relationships. And, we talked about kind of what we were going to talk about. And you're one of the best therapists I know. And I say that, if not the best. I don't know many, but I will say that everybody who I've ever pointed your way, all of our friends, anybody comes to you for advice, and it's, again, you said this is a gift.
Yes.
It's a God gift.
Yes.
You have the education behind it, but it's always just been something that you kind of, I see it as your meditation.
Yes.
Right? Like when you're in sessions. And so tell me, people who come to you, they come for what? Sex therapy, marriage therapy?
A combination of both, because I'm a psychosexual therapist.
And what is that?
The psychology behind sex. You know what I'm saying? The mental, but I deal with the psychology of people. I deal with the psychology of sex. I deal with the psychology of couples. Here's what I got to put out to start. Most of us come from dysfunctional backgrounds as it relates to relationships.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yes.
And so we grew up seeing all this dysfunctionality, seeing
Yes.
this toxicity right there in front of us, and somehow we think that we're going to grow older and get married and have a successful marriage. Based off what? Everything you know, like you learn how to successfully drive a car because you've seen people do it. But how many people? I guarantee you, most people hearing this think about what in front of you. Successful marriages, people that you can identify, that you can touch. For me, it was the Cosby Show. My mom and dad was married 34 years. They had the most dysfunctional marriage you've ever seen. I never forget my mom and dad. My mom was slightly taller than my dad. My mom was 5'11", dad 5'9", 5'10"-ish. So they had this agreement before they got married. It's like, listen, let's talk about things we don't say to each other. My mom said, never call me a bitch. My dad said, never call me short. Every time they argue, you bitch, you short motherfucker. I said, oh God. So I grew up watching my parents argue and fuss and fight a lot. So that's why to this day I don't argue, fuss, and fight. You've known me for over 20 years. We were married for 6 years, and we've never had an argument.
No,
And
we disagree.
Yeah, we've disagreed.
Never,
We have disagreed.
yeah.
We've never raised our voice at each other. I've never called you out of your name. The most I've ever said to you was one time, leave me the fuck alone.
I remember.
Right, and you was just like,
That
oh
hurt.
God, did he just? Because the peace, and that's one of the things that was most exciting about you. You was just always peace. Like I always tell people, I bragged about being with you was like being by myself. It was like, it was
Easy.
Cool. It was easy.
Yeah.
So growing up, couples see this dysfunctionality, they mock it, they imitate it, they emulate it, because that's what you see, that's what you know. So people think we got to fuss and argue to get along. You don't.
Or they think that means you love me.
Yes.
Because that is what they saw as love.
Yes, which is the exact opposite. Because
Yeah.
remember, everything in life is about happiness, and happiness is synonymous with freedom. If I'm with you and I feel that I'm in bondage, that's not love.
Yes.
That's you enslaved. That's that's nothing beautiful. That's not God. That's man. So we get tied to a sheet of paper because there's three vital points that we look at as far as a marriage. We look at the ring. We look at the marriage certificate, and we look at the spiritual connection. There's only one that matters, which is the spiritual connection.
Right.
That ring, who gives a damn? The piece of paper. Remember, license means to be governed by. That means if something happened to me, they come and look at you. Hey, your husband got some debt.
Yeah.
So
I don't know him.
It's the government. It's the government's way
Yeah.
of presiding over you. So if it's before God, why don't we gotta get a license for what? So again, understand the system. But going back to couples need to what we're not doing. For example, you and I, even though we talked and we communicated heavily before we got married, you still had your dysfunctional background. I still have my dysfunctional background. So even though I spoke to you about what I needed in my marriage, in our marriage,
And I thought I knew.
yes,
We still had two totally different definitions.
exactly.
And that was one thing. Again, I feel like, and this is about you, but I feel like, relationships are teachers.
Yes.
And mirrors. And so I feel like I learned a lot.
Okay.
And even just about our communication. Because,
Yeah.
I took it for granted that when you said X, yeah, sure, I know what that means. No, something totally different. Talk about the 5 Ps. I want to talk about the 5 Ps.
Okay, the 5 Ps. I come up with this as it relates.
And this is what you want in a relationship, or what people should be looking
I'm going to
for?
go on record and say most men want this.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
And I'm a little shaky because I ain't got my cue cards in front of me. I'm gonna read it from a teleprompter, so work with me.
Okay.
Peace. Prosperity. Pussy.
I thought that was going to be first, so.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Work with me. Peace, prosperity, pussy. What's my other two? Because I don't have it in front of me. They got so much.
And you didn't put them in here. You just put
Okay.
the 5
The
Ps.
5 Ps.
Peace, prosperity,
Pussy.
Um,
Guys, what are these things that I want? So I'm going to need
we
to
did
grab.
have a shot before we started this interview.
No, power's not one. Let me grab my phone.
You want your phone? Which one do you want?
Can you hand me my phone?
Thank you, Jade, our amazing photographer today.
Yes, and we're going to have to...
And as you do that, I just want to bring up the fact that the Black family, I've never seen someone who is a more staunch supporter of the Black family.
Right, but I want you to go back to the P's, because don't be getting me confused.
Okay, I'm giving you time. This is what we do in TV.
I'm ready now.
Okay, all right. What are the 5 P's?
Peace, pussy, prosperity, prioritization, and purpose.
Oh.
Peace, pussy, prosperity, prioritization, and purpose.
It makes sense that I would forget that one. Watch yourself. So these are things that everyone should want in a relationship.
Right. This is typically what the average man wants.
Yeah.
And there's so many layers to this. Mm-hmm. So as a man, the first thing that every man should want is peace. Mm-hmm. You come on, if there's no peace, then none of the other 4 doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. I don't care what man say for the second one, with pussy, and we can say vagina. Mm-hmm. I don't care who he is. If that's not taken care of, it's going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. You're going to see a disgruntled man, because for Black men especially, our manhood is defined by sex, unfortunately. Because in a society where we are constantly told we're less than, and we're constantly dominated by the other, meaning the white man, in the bedroom we become the lion. We're a man. You can't tell me what to do in here. I have all the power. So when our power is taken away from us, then now the relationship becomes a problem. And that's why most men will argue. That's why they go outside the relationship, because now I need to regain my power, because that's what I have in that intimacy.
And I think you use a great illustration when you talk about how men and women desire differently, right?
Yes.
You said for a woman, it's food.
Yes, women are the food as men are the sex.
Yeah.
Right. The way a woman.
We get so excited.
The way a woman craves food, the same way men crave sex. I mean, when we were married, if I'm in kitchen baking cookies, she come there like doing a Dexter wiggle. Like,
I definitely dance.
Making them cookies.
Now.
I've never ever seen her do that wiggle for sex. And I'm not saying she didn't enjoy the intimacy. What I'm saying is, I never saw the like the Pookie from New Jack City. I dance for you, mom. I dance for you.
Okay. I think they got it. Thanks.
But just seeing that yearning, because food for that, when a woman is eating breakfast, she's thinking about dinner. Ooh, for dinner, I'm gonna bake that asparagus. I'm gonna have me some pasta. And it's just like when a man gets something early in the morning, he's like, man, what I'm gonna do? What can I do to get something tonight? It's a constant desire that men have. And here's the thing about men: men are so simple that if that desire is met let's say twice a week, he's good. But when I could go once a month, and you walk around knowing, I don't understand why your man is groggy and upset and uptight, and don't want to do nothing, and rolling his eyes at you, and you talk about getting emotional. Oh God, getting emotional. Ladies, the only thing you gotta do, trust me on this, just go grab his penis and say, "Come with me."
Yeah.
And you're gonna be getting Macy's gift cards. You're gonna be getting breakfast in bed. And I gotta give you this one example. A couple out of Chicago I counseled years ago, and she was a first lady, and he was of course the pastor, and she called me, like, I got this problem with my husband. Our sex life is so stale, it's mundane. I said, okay, I'm gonna tell you what you do. Next time you're having sex, I want you to ride him like you never rode him before. And when you get ready to come, choke the hell out of him. Just choke his ass, choke him, and scream, make it the best orgasm you've ever had. In pretense, because again, whatever it takes, give it to him. And she's like, Doc, I'm first lady, I'm a woman in church, I can't be out there doing that. I said, you call me. You paying me. I'm telling you what your husband needs.
Yeah.
She called me a couple days and she's like, oh my God. And they have been married 24 years.
Wow.
She's like, my husband is a changed man. When you feed that ego of a man, men are so damn simple.
Yeah.
When you feed that ego, especially in that bedroom, Nikki Giovanni, people, if you haven't seen it, Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin did a piece overseas back in, I think, the 70s. And what Nikki Giovanni talks about, and I love myself Nikki Giovanni, she actually did the foreword for my first book, From Player to Poet, such a queen. She said, in this take with James Baldwin, she said, we have to learn to pretend. She said, relationships, she said, if you're out there pretending every day at work, and to the man, come on and pretend with me too. And James Baldwin was like, no, you shouldn't have to pretend. He's like, yes, you should. It's okay. Because you pretend anyway. So why not come on? Because I tell couples all the time, marriage is Hollywood. Some days you got to get on the stage and act. Because you acting at work every damn day. There's nobody I've ever met that goes to work every day excited. I can't wait to go to work. Yay. No. You like, okay, let me go make this money. Let me go make this money. And people, let me say this for your next question. People value money more than they value love. I'll give you an example of that. If I say, listen, Laura, I got a foolproof investment. I need $10,000. Holler at your boy. Next week, I'm going to give you $20,000 back. Got you. We're going to double. We're going to flip it. I'm going to double your money. I come back next Wednesday, about that money. Yeah, we lost it. Yeah, not now penny you're going to get back. But I got another one, another plan. This one's definitely foolproof. Would you give me another $10,000?
Absolutely not.
You see how you eliminated the money? Whether it's your heart, we keep reinvesting over and over and over again without getting nothing in return.
Yeah.
How many clients come to me who've been miserable for years, but they stay in that marriage, they stay in that relationship. For what? You're not getting a return on your investment. Walk away.
Question for you.
Okay.
Can any relationship, right? Because you say you're staying here, you're not getting a return. Can any relationship work? Question. And because I feel like marriage is work,
Yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely.
So can any relationship?
Marriage is a career.
It's a
not
career.
It's a
Ooh,
difference.
that's good.
Yes, that's what I get paid to do.
It can, you know what? But it can work if you commit to it, or do you think there are some people that are just incompatible?
There's some people that are just not compatible, incompatible, as you stated. People, especially black people, we base marriages on love. I love you so much, you're in my heart. But what about right here? This is where compatibility starts. Do I enjoy you? After, for example, let's go back to intimacy. After sex, do I want to lay there next to you and just smile at you? Or I'm like, damn, what time you leaving? Or you got nothing better to do?
Yeah.
Or you get out of bed like, okay, let me go find something else to do. You know what I'm saying? Or do you lay there and be like, you know what, I really enjoy you, being with you. And that's where the happiness piece comes in. Because if you're not happy with you, if I'm not happy with me, I can't be happy with you. So people are getting married for all the wrong reasons. People go into marriages, going back to that toxic dysfunctionality, they go into marriage and not being happy with themselves, but somehow thinking that person gonna make me happy, and that's where it goes bad. So now women are very, I love you regardless. Men are very, I love you if you stay in this frame right here. And then the biggest problem I see with marriages, here's where it gets really deep. We start off here. Typically in our black marriages, the woman does this. She's progressing. The man stays right here. He doesn't want to evolve. He's like, man, we cool right here. Let's stay right here. Everything we've been doing, let's keep it right here. The woman's like, no, let's travel. Let's go to the gym. Let's go to grandma's house. Let's do all these great things together. Let's walk in the park. The man's like, can't we just watch Netflix and just chill? You so that woman, she starts, I want to go on girls trips. I want to go and I want to invent something. I want to change my career. The man's like, no. Let's stay right here.
And if she doesn't get it from home, she goes out.
Exactly. And the man now, he's pissed off because now, remember, men control the romance, women control the sexual energy. So when that woman not feeling romance, the well's dry. She don't want to have sex with you. You see what I'm saying? And I always tell men, look at yourself, your energy and your physical being. Would you want to have sex with you right now? So if you ain't digging you, why would she dig you? It's safe for the woman.
All right. Okay.
As a woman, like if you looking at yourself and you're not feeling good, you're not feeling sexy about you, and you come to bed, that's why people want to do it in the dark.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I tell couples all the time, have all the lights on and run around butt ass naked before y'all have sex. You know what I'm saying? Run around, play hide and go get. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta enjoy seeing each other in the light. Sex and intimacy, it should be a wonderful thing.
Let's talk. We have a lot of things to get to in just a little bit of time, and we could probably do this every day for the rest of our lives and still have more stuff to talk about. One thing that you ask people as soon as I know they come into your practice, you find out what their signs are.
Yes.
And I know you're a big believer, right?
Gosh, yes.
That certain zodiac signs are compatible and others are just not.
Yes.
How did you kind of come up with that, and why do you stick to it so much?
Well, first of all,
everybody wants to know.
Right, that part. Astrology is the world's oldest science, right? The stars is everything. So if we look into the stars and everything is already aligned, and there's 4 pockets for a reason. You have air, fire, earth, and water, right? And some are compatible and some are not. For example, I'm an air sign. Our first alignment with air is fire. Air and fire need each other. Fire needs air to breathe. So my first attraction is to fire signs. Fire signs, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries all day. So my second line of compatibility are other air signs, which is Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So if I look at my dating pattern over the years, and I started my first girlfriend, I was a freshman in high school, and she was an Aries, April 7th. Shout out to Karen, holla at your boy. No, but we still to this day we wish each other happy birthday.
I love that.
Karen has a boo, she's married, blah blah blah, and we just still cool. But if I look over time, the women that I've dated, high school sweetheart Leo, my first wife Sag, you Leo, the women I've been down with and for have all been fire signs or air signs, but mostly fire signs. I'm attracted to fire signs, and that's why now I asked her like the other day, my instructor at the gym, we were just laughing and doing some harmless flirting with each other. I said, "What's your sign?" She said, "Pisces." Have a great day. Have a great day. I'm day. She's like, "What's wrong with the Pisces?" I'm like, "Nothing. You're cool where you are."
Yeah.
Because I know that's not going to work. I know even friends we can be cool, but other than that, it's not. There's nothing there. Absolutely nothing.
So you recommend people look at your sign and the sign of someone?
Absolutely.
And it's not necessarily a no, but just be aware.
Yeah, because I'm going to say 90% no. For example, fire and water. And our water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, right? Oh, dear God. Water puts out fire. They don't, like the emotions that fire signs bring, because fire signs are very, I'm good. The water signs
Yes, we are.
Right, the water signs like, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
I need closure.
I don't want to talk about it.
Right. And then once you close it up, that's still on my mind. and the fire is like, are you freaking kidding me? You still want to talk about this? So that compatibility, it starts there. Now, mind you, there are exceptions to the rule. There are definitely exceptions to it. Like my dad was a Gemini, my mom was a Cancer. Again, that's why it was very dysfunctional. You had an air sign and a water sign. No, we don't need those two together. So certain things, I'm sorry, the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, if I'm not mistaken. Again, all over the place. So much in my mind right now.
Okay.
But the water signs. But anyway, yes, zodiac dating is very, very important. People date the right zodiac sign.
What about the people who say, look, Doc, there's no good men out there. There's no good women out there. I just can't find them. What do you say? We're based here in Atlanta. Is that?
If you have a backyard, get a shovel, 6 feet deep, lay in it, cover yourself. Just
because it's over.
Yeah, because if you feel like there's no good people out there, if you feel like there's no good men or women out here, you are stuck in a time warp that I can't even help you.
Yeah.
But a lot of
it's easier than ever, right?
Yes, it is. And a lot of times people, they give up because they've had bad relationships. You've had bad jobs. That don't stop you from working a job. And that don't stop you from going to this next job being your best person.
What's your best advice for people who say they just haven't met people? Do you recommend they go out to the gym, to church? I mean, that's where people go, church, to the gym.
Don't look to Amazon for your man or your woman. Get out. Go do something. Be proactive in your invention, in your quest.
Got it.
But you got to get out. You got to get out and go want to meet people. And it's not difficult, but it's not easy. But it's part of the process. And when you least expect it, you at Target one day and you just looking for some tampons and this guy was like, need some help? You look around, you're like, oh my God, it's him.
And it's him.
Right. And how can I put this? Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. He had this thing about high value man, high value woman. And I understood where he was coming from, but he twisted it the wrong way. And what he meant was find somebody you're compatible with. Because just because I'm high value socioeconomic status and you're not, you may be high value as far as being taking care of the home, taking care of the children. So now our values are equal.
Got
you follow
it.
what I'm saying?
Got it.
So high value doesn't mean 6 figures that got nothing to do with happiness. Not a damn thing. You see, but when we complement each other, You know, for example, when our child was born, I was just rebuilding my practice. I was making $800 a month. And I was like, baby, but this pregnancy you didn't want for anything. I said, when this baby was born, I'm going to give you 2 years of me taking care of him. What'd I do? Hey, I got it. You ain't got to worry about this. I got it.
I was working weekends. You were with him.
Yes.
Which is why he is exactly like you
somewhat.
Right now.
Yes. and when when he wake up in the middle of the night, I got it.
Yeah.
You know, because first of all, I love children. But you knew that because I told you, like, hey, I say 0 to 2, I got it. But I also told you because I have 2 older children, because I was 2 and done, and somebody was like, can I get a baby? I was like, oh, dear God. I said, you're going to be the primary parent. What I meant and what I said is, you're going to feel what it's like to be a parent. Because
I do.
Right. And
Thanks.
yes. And
so much energy.
And you've done an amazing job. But I want, because people think parenting is easy.
Oh, no.
And I wanted you to say, you know what, hey, going into this, I'm going to take on, not the bulk, but let's say 55, 45. Say, no, I got this. And you've done an amazing job with him. Like, you give him your all, and that's what I want you to see. This is what parenting is, because the first couple of years, you was scared to touch our child. You was like, oh, God.
I was like, what do I do? I wasn't around kids
Yes,
ever.
exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas I was raised around children from the time I was in the 6th grade. My oldest sister had a baby, and I practically raised her.
Yes.
So I was raised around kids, and I knew how to. Remember, you told me, you said, well, I said, I'm going to put them on a schedule, sleeping schedule. He's like, well, according to the book I've read, they said it's going to take a year.
Is that really the voice that I make?
That's
okay. All right. We're going to move on.
And to this day, our child is on a wonderful sleeping schedule.
Unless he's okay. All right.
Yeah,
That's a whole other thing. Okay, but you brought up Kevin Samuels. So there's a lot of people out there right now, TikTok, Instagram, who are giving therapy and giving relationship advice. Talk to me about kind of what you think about it. How you kind of fit into all that.
I call them pseudo-therapists, and they're making the job bad. It's kind of what Cat Williams says. Just because you tell jokes doesn't mean you're a comedian. There's a lot of work that goes into comedian. Are you writing the jokes? Are you doing the work that it takes to be if you're going to use this title, comedian?
Sure.
And I'm seeing all these pop-up people just talking about relationships. And even, first let me talk about therapists. There shouldn't be therapists. Just like there are parents, some parents that shouldn't be parents. Just because you have a vagina and a penis doesn't mean you should have a child. There are therapists who go get the degrees, get the certifications, and they're not happy with themselves. They're not in a good space. And you are giving people advice. Stop that. Stop it, because you're doing more harm than help. Because the spirit never lies. The spirit, when people come to me, they're like, especially brothers, they're like, man, I'm telling you stuff I ain't never told nobody. Because my spirit is true to who I am. I am comfortable in my skin. If I'm looking like a body of unhealthiness, how can I tell you about unhealthy? Be it physical, because remember, there's 4 components to life: happiness, sleep, fitness, and nutrition. Happiness, sleep, fitness, and nutrition. You got to occupy all 4 of those.
Yeah.
You got to take care of yourself. So as a therapist, I'm not occupying those 4, but I'm giving you advice about how you live in your life. Yeah, that's called hypocrisy. And so my shout out to my therapists who are doing the work for themselves and making sure you're happy. Because anybody who knows me, first thing they'll say, like, he's so happy. They have people who call, listen to my voicemail just to get their day off. I'm like people's coffee. Like, oh God, let me call. Dude, don't answer the phone, I'm about to call you. Let's see me. Don't answer the phone, I'm about to call. Just want to hear your message.
And I think it's naturally who you were, but you also had to do work to get there.
Yes, but I've always generally just been a happy person.
Well, and when I say you had to do work, I guess what I mean is you're disciplined in life.
Yes, that part.
And so whether it was when you were going through, you were like, I'm going to take this test, I'm going to get this done, I'm going to do this because I'm building this practice.
Yes.
Whether it's I'm going to run a marathon, whether it's I'm going to live a vegan lifestyle, start a vegan brand. Discipline is something that has always helped you.
Yeah, from my dad, thanks to him, the military. I was in the United States Air Force, pledging the fraternity, getting my ass whipped for damn near 8 weeks. That takes a lot. It takes a lot of you as a man, and you begin to realize there's nothing you can't do. The discipline of walking in Chicago during the wintertime with snow up to my thighs, to my kneecaps, but I'm walking to school like this, and just understanding that. And I've had. This is how I know I'm God made, because God has given me so many tests in my life to show me what I was made out of. And each test, He's told me, you've passed, son. Here's the next test. You passed, sonny. Here's the next test. So, to the question, to my pseudo-therapist, this thing is about healing people, not hurting people. It's not about likes, subscribers, making money off people. Heal people. If you're giving advice and people aren't hitting you up saying, I'm healed, I feel better about myself. But people are so busy causing controversy between man and woman, woman and woman, man and man. Let people, if you don't know what you're talking about, if you're not in that space where you can say, I'm happy with me, stop talking. Just stop. You're a journalist. There's so many pseudo-journalists out there, and I know that has to upset you because you're like, wow. And again, I take my hat off to people out there giving it a shot. But I just want people to know, stop doing therapy. It's like if I was a medical professional, and I'm on there giving advice, okay, I got these needles. This is what I want you to do for my diabetics. People be, they'll be, police be knocking at your door. No, you shut that down.
Right.
We can look at someone physically and see when they're physically out of shape. But mentally, we don't get when people aren't mentally in shape.
Yeah, you can't see it.
You can't see it, but I can. That's my
Yes.
gift. I can look at someone, I can feel what they're feeling. My dad gave me a superpower. And that superpower is, he said, don't listen to what people say to you. Listen to what their spirit give you. So when people talk to me, I don't pay attention to not a word coming out their mouth. But I hear their spirits. Their spirits don't lie.
Yeah.
I give you an example. I had a couple years ago, came into me and the wife says, I want a divorce. And I was like, okay. I asked the husband to excuse the room, and she said, did I do something? I said, no, the first day they came to see me. I said, who you fucking?
You said it just like that too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I know you did.
She said, excuse me, sir? I said, who's breaking your back off, ma'am? All due respect. She's like, I don't know, you don't know me, but just had a little moment. I said, the question still remains. She was like, how did you know? I said, your energy read that some other man is feeding you because your husband wasn't feeding you. Your husband can't see it. He doesn't know, but sweetheart, the way you came and you so adamant about that divorce, no, your spirit said, your spirit was like, help me. Because this man that you was desiring wasn't your husband and he wasn't good for you.
Yeah.
But she later found that out. But just having that mindset of, again, the spirit never lies. And so that's my gift. I can read people. Like I used to always tell my friends, now it's a gift and a curse. One of my good buddies got married years ago, and I got to the wedding, and and I'm talking to the groomsmen. I was like, "Yo, where the freaks at in the wedding? What's going down? What's going down?" And it's like, "Man, all these holier than thou women in this blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Okay, let me check out the ladies." I looked at, I said, "Number 5, she's a freak." And they was like, "Whatever." I was like, "Trust me, number 5, she's about that life." And afterwards, they
Sure enough.
everybody run to number 5. Everybody trying to put their bid in, right? And so number 5 ended up coming to me and saying, all these brothers, they've made their pitch. They've said something. You haven't even spoken to me. I said, I knew eventually you would come to me.
Oh,
About 40,
so tight,
about 45 minutes later, we at a hotel getting it in.
and you were right.
I was right. Yeah, number 5. Because again, I do a great job at reading people, and again, but here's the beautiful part about it. I'm so much at peace with myself.
Yeah.
You can only read people when you're at peace with yourself.
Yeah.
So, but there's certain people, because they see the disruption in themselves, they read disruption. So
they're almost projecting it.
Exactly. Okay. Suspect people suspect people.
And hurt people hurt people.
Exactly. I see the good in all humanity. So when I see you, I'm seeing the goodness. I'm seeing the God in you.
Definition of a good woman, good man. Excuse me.
It's relative.
Okay.
The definition of a good man, a man who knows who he is. Yeah, I tell men all the time, you have a choice, a lion or a hyena. Which one are you going to choose?
Oh, lion all day.
Yeah, but a hyena is cowardly. A hyena wants a woman to lead him. A hyena, remember there's 7 different personalities for a man. And most people just know alpha and beta. No, there's gamma, there's delta, there's sigma. So what's funny, I'm a sigma, and I'm also a sigma male by definition.
Yeah. And
sigma male is very close to the alpha, except we don't need to be seen. We're like, hey, I don't need the light, but the light follows me anyway. You see, and there's a difference. I don't want to be CEO of your company. I don't want to run other people's lives. I'm too busy running my life, and I enjoy my life. So a good man is a man who knows him, and he's happy with himself. He understands he's a lion. It's his job especially not in the black community, brother, you got to be a leader. You got to take control. You got to be part of the solution, not the problem. And that's the issue with a lot of our brothers. Is like, for example, I give you cigars. Most of my brothers don't know. One cigar is equivalent to, as far as the tobacco content, to a whole pack of cigarettes or the nicotine. But you smoke it, and most of these men smoking it, they're unhealthy. But you have cigar bars, who got the biggest cigar? Dude, you're killing yourself. That's not being a leader. I don't, you know what I'm saying? That we don't get it, and I just want people to get it. That's why this whole this reckoning right now for me, this coming out and the truth, because people, they just living their life and they think it's cool, but you passing this foolishness off to generation after generation after generation of foolishness. Again, men, know yourself, be a lion, not a hyena, and if you need to know what that means, talk to your boy, call me. I'm easy to find. For women, understanding the truth of your womanhood, being able to define, understand that you got to choose your path. You got to choose your path of happiness. You got to be at peace with yourself, no different than a man. You got to be the lioness. You can't be the hyena. You got to be the lioness. You got to understand that. Say if you just want to, how can I put this? With men and women, again, our foundation is everything.
Yes.
You got a lot of tainted foundations. We got to get beyond that. The amount of work that you put into your career, put that into yourself. I ask couples all the time, have you studied men? I ask one, have you studied men? Do you know? Have you read a book about men? Ask me, have you read about women? Answer's always unequivocally no. But you go to work and look at the books that needed to be a dentist. You'll read that, 8 years of dentistry. You read all that.
It makes sense. I mean, if you want to have a successful relationship, that you should study your mate, be your best, make sure that you are happy going in, because you can't give what you don't have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And happiness is so underrated, right? People, when Will Smith did the movie Pursuit of Happiness, let's take that word and put it in the proper context. Pursuits of happiness. That means you're constantly pursuing it. So happiness is a vehicle. It's a car. And it's on cruise control. It's going to keep going regardless. It's a never-ending path. You're a pursuit.
Yeah.
You're chasing the hell out of that car for the rest of your life. What do people do? They stop in the middle of the road. I'm tired of chasing that car. I'm gonna get my Chunky Monkey ice cream. I'm gonna put on.
I feel offended.
I'm gonna put on a Lifetime movie, or I'm gonna watch a football game, and I'm just gonna not care about my life. But then you expect to have great health.
Yeah.
But you gave up on yourself. You lay in the middle. Get your ass up. And continue to chase that car.
And I love that you do that even with your clients. I mean, your approach to therapy is really holistic.
Yes.
Right? It's not just about let's sit down and let's unpack the past. It's let's focus on the future and how are you in every area of your life, because what you've told me and what I've received is that the way you are in one area of your life is the way you are in every area of your life.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating.
And I tell my couples, let's go through this. And rate 1 to 10, 10 being your happiest place, 1 being the opposite. Your childhood, your career, your family, your friends, your significant other, relatives, your extended family. Your family, like, because I want these about 10 different things I sound off on. Because I want to see where your happiness is and where it isn't. And then that's how therapy always starts with me. When I start getting them 4s and 5s, and then I say, most of all, how happy are you with yourself? When people give me those 4s and 5s and 6s, I'm like, that's the problem.
So as we wrap up,
Yes.
because I know you've got other things to do, but I appreciate this insight, and I just want to make sure you have shared what you want to share.
Okay.
But I also want to leave people with something at the end, right?
Okay.
So if someone comes to you, they're just not happy where they are. Whether it's their job, their lack of relationship, they're in a relationship, their health. Where do they start? Somebody watching here today who's like, I'm not happy. I need therapy, but I don't even have the will to get there yet. Where does somebody start on that get happy journey?
Sit down with a piece of paper and write down the beauties of your life, the joys of your life, and the sadnesses of your life. First, start with the joys. Write down all the joy, everything that makes you happy. Now write down everything that makes you sad, or makes you depressed, or gives you anxiety. Write them all down. The joy list, we're going to follow that, because that's where we already are. Now, with this list over here of sadness or things that makes you angry and sad, we're going to cross them out one at a time. Don't try to run through the list. Take your time. It's like the perfect diet. Right? I tell people all the time, don't just jump into veganism. No. Eliminate one thing at a time. Say, this year I'm gonna stop dairy. Next year I'm gonna stop red meat. Take one thing at a time. But just don't jump into it. When you're trying to fix, let's say you're 35 years old. You've been sad and depressed for 35
Long
years.
time.
So don't think there's just one session with me gonna get you better. Oh my God, so Dr. Tiy-E, I'm great. No.
Yeah.
That's one session. So now you got to put the time into yourself. You gotta say, you know what? I can do this. I can be a better version of myself, but let me put the time in. You put the time in when you go shopping. Put the time in when you're in the kitchen making your favorite meal. You put the time in raising children. People do, especially our mothers, they do a better job in raising their kids than they do taking care of themselves. How you gonna give your children oxygen and you're not breathing? You gotta make sure you're breathing, then give your child. Don't stop doing more for your child than you do for yourself. That makes absolutely no damn sense. Yeah, I know parents that got 6 or 7 damn programs that children are in, but you ain't got time to go to the gym, you ain't got time to eat right, you ain't got time to take care of yourself. Your hygiene, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But again, take care of yourself. Now again, instead of 16 with your children, give them 3, give them 2. Find time for you, because them kids gonna be all right. Because they're children and they're learning from you. You are the advisor, you're the director, you're the God in their life. So God's plan for man is, and woman, take care of you first. Love on you, then everything else.
We're going to do a quick little rapid fire as we wrap up.
Okay.
Quick little rapid fire.
Okay.
Because she's looking at me like, hurry up. Your favorite sports team?
Chicago Cubs.
Your favorite vacation?
Negril, Jamaica, or Ghana in West Africa.
Your the thing they're most proud of?
Damn. You went deep with that one. Outside the children? Or can I say put
Outside the children.
The thing I'm most proud of.
You can't say the children if they are your most...
Well, that's a given. My 3 babies. Thing I'm most proud of. I'm about to say my books. Like writing those books, because it wasn't for me, it was for humanity. 6 books, 1 audio book. I did a CD, Ladies in Paradise CD. That body of work defines me, because that's my legacy. My children, my legacy. Anything that I can say, this is my legacy. That's what I'm most proud of.
What is still on your bucket list? One thing that you still want to accomplish that you haven't done yet?
One thing. Sex with Oprah? No.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. Let me see. One thing on my...
But you still haven't accomplished. Like, I'm going to do that one day.
Right. I want to do this one day. What would that be? Well, because I jumped out of a plane a few times. I did skydiving. That was definitely on my bucket list. There's over 50 countries in Africa. I want to visit them all. I want to visit them all. I want to visit all the countries in Africa.
One life mantra that you live by?
You cannot heal what you don't reveal. And slap before you get it. No.
On that note.
Eating ain't cheating.
Favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert, chocolate chip cookies, which is my vice. That's people if you see Dr. Tiy-E and people watch this, what does this do? If you saw God man, there's something wrong with him. What's wrong with him? Cookies. That's my vice. I love chocolate, vegan might add, but I love myself to chocolate chip cookies. That's my vice. That's my weakness. That's my kryptonite. So anybody watch, like, I want to get them to my house, just make me some cookies.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, X.
Okay.
El-Hajj Malik Shabazz was the father I had. He's my lifeline. This sister who's a Jehovah's Witness, Yahweh Witness, told me years ago, probably the greatest compliment, 2 greatest compliments I've ever heard in my life. One was, she said, I haven't seen a man that commands as much respect when he walks in a room since I walked with Malcolm X back in the 60s. She said, brother, have you ever seen the way you walk into a room? People just stop. And I was one of his older sister one day, she said, you know what? I've been trying to define you, like with this attraction about you. She said, you're God sexy. I said, not the God sexy. I said, damn, not the God. I said, okay. I said, what do I do with that? Receive it. Right, just receive it. I said, thank you. But yeah, the X, my favorite, one of the 2 movies I cried in, because after reading this autobiography at the age of 18, it changed my life. It gave me purpose. It helped me to understand who I was as a black man. And when you said earlier, when I tell you I love black people, I love my black family. And I'm here for y'all. I'm here, and that's why this therapy is so important, because I want to help people to heal. That's why I'm here. My whole sole purpose is to help people to heal. And if I can do that, I can laugh with the best of them. I can dance with the best of them. I can play pickleball. I'm very athletic. I mean, I guarantee you, I'm going to do what Cat Williams said. Come get online with me. There's no therapist, pound for pound, that can outdo me. Because again, let's just say you're more educated than me. Let's go to the gym. Let's say you go, let's put on some skates. Oh, let's go dancing. Let's go climb up the mountain. Let's put on some taekwondo. Let's do martial arts. I'm so well-rounded. I'm that dude. You know, but I'm so humble. Anybody who knows me, I'm so humble. And that's what I enjoy most about me, because I ain't got to brag about it. You see it when you see it. I like that. You see it when you see it. Bars. Bars.
Dr. Tiy-E.
One Love Counseling Services, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, good.